Dr. Doom is not white. And that's awesome! Look at this character. Clearly not white. I'm also not white. And it's also awesome, right? So, in this video, guys, we're talking about the latest, craziest, looniest thing ever. That apparently, it is whitewashing these days to have a white person play a white character. I'm not making this up. Just think about that. People are saying now that it's racism having Robert Downey Jr. playing Dr. Doom because he's white. And this guy isn't white. Okay. So let's talk about, first of all, Dr. Doom's history. And we into it. And also, why is it a great thing? Because this genuinely is a very, very good thing. Like the video, guys, subscribe, hit the like button, and let's first then go into the history of Dr. Doom. Played by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. And he's the ruler of a fictional country called Latvia. Doesn't exist, but it's basically like an East European country. Latvia is created somewhere around here then, in the fictional universe of Marvel. It does change in the comics a little bit, but it's actually here somewhere, part of Hungary, part of Romania. So it's like on the border here, somewhere between the two countries, maybe up here with Slovakia and Ukraine, something like that. So Dr. Doom is clearly a white person, Jesus Christ, and his father, Werner von Doom, even the name, right, sounds very German, or maybe Dutch, but he's supposed to be like Hungarian, maybe Austrian, but basically, you know, he's something like that, right? Now, of course, Dr. Doom's mother is a witch, right? And she's a very, like, stereotypical Romanian witch. That is true, and but even her, she said that as a half Romani or whatever, something like that. So he's a quarter Romani or whatever, right? But he's a white person. So he's been a white guy, right? In every case. In the past, he's been portrayed by, for example, other white actors like Julian McCohen, right? Also famous from Charmed and Nip Tuck and so on. And the issue now that is that Robert Downey Jr. is apparently them for playing then a white guy, right? Like, this is honestly the dumbest whitewashing I heard in my life. I mean, Dr. Doom is clearly white, okay? He's very white. He's an East European white, right? I mean, it's otherwise, and this is why I comment video, right? Otherwise, the history of Doom basically means that, oh, he's like only, he's like, you know, 12% Romani, so he's like, you know, not white anymore. I mean, what does that mean, actually? As you can see, right? Now, Robert Downey Jr. is gonna play Dr. Doom, right? This video here is not talking about if I like that or not, whatever. I don't care about that, right? I mean, honestly, I think he's a great actor. Is he gonna be like an other universe Iron Man or whatever? Who cares, right? This video here, of course, again, talking about that he is not apparently, you know, Romani enough, I guess then, right, to play Dr. Doom. But the thing is that no one has ever seen Dr. Doom as a non-white guy reading comics, right? I mean, I read in comics, Doom is one of my favorite characters. Of course, I've seen the animated show, the Spider-Man show, the Fantastic Four show, etc. And he's, of course, you know, one of the antagonists, also Spider-Man, so on. He's also a white guy, right? He's been a white guy since ever, yeah. He's a white dude, right? All the previous actors has been white people, right? I mean, I have to even say this thing. Like, I have to say this thing. It's just crazy. But it is true, though, and this is why I think it's important to make the video. People are actually complaining now then that he is not, you know, the correct European ethnically race, something like that. But it's important to understand that apparently Robert Downey Jr. is even partially Hungarian. His ancestors are partially Hungarian, or Hungarian, I mean, he's like, whatever. He's like 8 Hungarian, or something like that. I mean, whatever. You started to do this. So he's even like partially the correct European white guy too. Like, seriously, he's like more, you know, correct than I am. He's like probably more related to Doom than I would have been in reality, right? You know, if I played, yeah, like he's probably more actually into the racial of Dr. Doom than I am, for example, right? So it's crazy idea. He's even kind of close to Dr. Doom. Like, he's actually is like somewhat of the same race too, of white people, right? So it's really, really crazy. But I think it's important to bring it up here because this is now, of course, using the beginning of the thing, but trust me, it's gonna get way worse. So people are now saying that it's racism to have a white person play the Doom, right? And you might think that it's a fringe thing and it won't lead anywhere, but trust me, no, this is gonna get way worse. Because I remember, right, when they had a black actor being cast as Nojiko in One Piece, supposed to be a Swedish white girl, right? And literally, I'm not kidding, guys, after a few days, I had people right on this channel, to be on Twitter, whatever, telling me that she was always black in the manga or something. People are crazy like this. Every day it goes crazier and crazier. 2 years ago, I correctly called it, right, that Nojiko should be played by a black woman. It was pretty funny when it happened, in a way, so to speak. But my point is that it has like a Mandela effect. Because people in this, and I didn't link for this Reddit post, because a very, very popular Reddit post, that I mean thing, is that a lot of people in the post, and other fans on Reddit, are telling people that she's always been a black person, which has never been, of course. You might think it's silly, right, to say that, oh, it's just like some fringe people now saying that the Doom is not white or something. I am sure that this thing will grow every day, right? Think about it. We are a long way from here than having the actual movie being out, right, as Dr. Doom with a non-correct person then, right? And this is going to be months, going to be years, and this is going to increase, right? So now a few people are saying that this guy isn't white, which is, of course, ludicrous, but it's going to increase, right? It's like we have Nojiko, she's not black, and people, oh no, she's black now. We had Hermione, so this always goes to that, and it's going to be crazy. So honestly, this is the dumbest thing I've seen so far, arguably, that he's obviously a white person, but this is going to grow, okay? So that's the story, right, okay? And of course, right now, then, this is starting to kind of, like I said, right, it's starting to boil up here. We see people saying that. Again, doesn't make any sense, but we can have more of it as well. Like I said, though, it is true that he isn't like, how to say it, he's not Swedish white or whatever, right? That is true. He's like Slavic white or whatever. Like he's mixed, you know. He's like half German, he's like quarter German, quarter Hungarian, quarter Romani, quarter like something, Lettland or something, you know. And honestly, more people can't even find this on the map anyway, right? More people be like, Latvia, a real country, somewhere in Europe, you know what I mean? But I actually genuinely think this is great. I think this is awesome, guys. I genuinely really love that we're having this, like, let's call it peak virtual signaling about race and ethnicity. Because in Sweden, right, you know, or Norway or whatever, right? So I'm from Europe, of course. And in Europe, we don't really see that thing. I was thinking everyone, but I was thinking a lot of people in Europe, right, actually do argue like that. They don't see white as black, so to speak, white or black or whatever, as you do in America. America is very much like you're either black or you're white, right, you know. But in Europe, a lot of people are like, oh, we are Swedish, okay? We don't see us as white, we are Swedes, we're not white, okay? Those over here, Italians, they're not the same as us. They're not white. That's kind of how actually a lot of people in Sweden see it, right? You probably guess who argues like that. But get my point. People in Europe actually doesn't really see that like white or black thing. It's much more like your specific culture, your specific ethnicity and country is more important. Usually it's combined with, of course, religion. So, for example, Scandinavia is like one group, right? And they're all Protestant, right? And also England. So they kind of count because they have the same religion as us, right? And then north of Germany, kind of typical League wars, right? North of Germany, also Protestant. South Germany, though, used to be Catholic, right? Remember the League wars? And, you know, it's like, yeah. So for a Scandinavian, right? We usually see ourselves as the same ethnicity and race as only other Scandinavians and partially North Germans and partially English people. Like, seriously. That's how a lot of people see it in Sweden and Norway. So we don't see those Italians, those people down there, those Hungarians like he is, you know, that is a fact, honestly, right? And the same thing goes for like people in the Mediterranean. Oh, those people over there, the Spanish people, it's looking at other people, something like that. It's a lot like that. But what it means, of course, if we actually have to go into this thing, which is I keep saying, this is awesome. I want these crazy loons to be like this. I want them to go insane and start arguing that you can't cast a white person as a white role anymore, right? Because what that means, of course, is that I'm not white anymore. Right? That I can say, kind of like we say in Sweden, right? That no, I'm Swedish, I'm not white, you know. So we can argue like that, and that, of course, means that every Viking movie, every Viking game, Marvel, Thor, and so on is racist because they're not played by white people. that are played by incorrect Scandinavian culture people, right? So I want about it. If Dr. Doom isn't white anymore, then neither am I, right? Then I am Swedish or Norwegian, right? Ergo, I'm a Viking guy. I'm even born and from the region, the most popular Viking area back in the days. I'm a Viking, okay? I am not white then. And that means that a guy like Chris Hemsworth, he shouldn't be allowed to play Thor anymore. This guy's he's a white guy, right? He's a white guy stealing my culture, right? Because he's not a white, he's not Scandinavian, yeah. He's not even from that region, yeah, he's from Australia. He's not even European, man. He can't play Thor anymore. So I mean, genuinely, I think it's great that I'm not white anymore. I think it's honestly really good. People complaining, saying that this guy can't play Dr. Doom because he's not a white character, right? Because again, it means that no one then can play Vikings anymore, right? No one can play Vikings anymore, unless if you're Swedish, Norwegian, or Danish. And think about it, I'm gonna win in this thing. I'm gonna be the winner, guys. I'm gonna be the winner when we have to say that only actual Swedish, Norwegian, Danish people can play Vikings, because it's a very popular genre, right? In gaming, in anime, and movies or whatever. And yeah, you can't play them anymore, it can only be me. For example, like, Vinland Saga is racism now, because the voice actress is actually a woman voicing Thorfinn, apparently for most of it, or when he's younger, right? She's in America, right? She's not even European, okay? And I don't think she's even like Swedish either. She's not even heritage from that. Yeah. She can't play this guy. She has to be Icelandic, which I would count as, well, I mean, I guess that's like Norwegian back in the days, or like Danish, that would be fine, I suppose. But this woman is like English probably, and born in America, right? She's way as racism, okay? Not allowed anymore. But seriously, right? I made the video, guys, because obviously I like to make fun of this idiotism, right? Of a logical mistakes, right? I'm almost bothered by people having no arguments, right? Dr. Doom has always been seen as a white character, and any sane person will still see him as a white person, right? He's also been a white actor, so yeah, it's crazy. But I think this thing is great, and I keep saying it, but I really do think so, because if you go so far, right, it's the whole, not go full read, yeah. If you go so far, right, that you start arguing that, no, this person can't play this like a white character, he's the wrong kind of white, right, that actually is a good thing, honestly, right? Not only because it's kind of ludicrous then, because it means that you have to, well, he's from Latvia, which is a fake country, but, you have to get someone from the specific country, right, for everything. Or you want to think about it like, you want to make a World War II movie? Well, all those, there has to be a lot of German actors, you know what I mean? It is, of course, it's ridiculous, right? It's ridiculous. So, honestly, I kind of want us to push for this thing. I am definitely going to make more, I have said it for a while, right? And I kind of just say it jokingly sometimes, when I see people being cast, for example, like Chris Hemsworth's Thor, that shouldn't be allowed. He's not, he's not a Viking. I mean, yeah, it's so silly, right? But it's what they're doing now, and I want us to push on that more, because it's kind of funny. But I think it also speaks to something that is kind of hilarious, right? Because I actually want people to understand this thing. I think for me, at least, as a grown up in Europe, right? Being from like Sweden and Norway, grew up in different countries, having family in like Paris and other countries of Europe, is that for Europeans, we don't really have that, I keep saying it, but Europeans don't have that worldview of like black and white. We really don't, okay? That's a very, very American thing. Talking about race, ethnicity in that way, right? Europe, it really is a lot like, no, I am like, we're Swedish white, okay? We're not white, we're Swedish. And we don't see ourselves as the same race, as someone from like, Paris, from France or whatever. Oh, those people are from France over there, yeah. And like, they're not the same thing, yeah. Like, we don't, more people don't see that, right? And for Europeans, it is much more, for Europeans, it really is much more a detailed thing of what kind of, like, are you actually, right? In America, it's very binary, so to speak, right? It's very one or zero. You're either black or you're white, right? Same thing with my, videos about character in Japanese anime that isn't actually black, right? Like, this is a Japanese woman that's tanned or seen as black in America by most Americans, because they can only see either white or black, but she's a Japanese woman, right? That's very racist. I keep saying it. It's incredibly racist, saying that a Japanese woman is black is because she's not white, It's like, that's crazy, right? But I have to say that, again, then, if you want to push this notion that if the Doom isn't white anymore, well, then I am not white anymore either, right? I really don't. That's the same logic, right? I am not white either. Right? I'm Swedish, right? I'm Norwegian. That's the white. I'm not white. And I never identify as white either, for that matter. Growing up, I identify as Swedish, right? Primarily, you know what I mean? I don't identify as white. You know what I mean? That's not a thing where I'm from. Yeah. So no. I want us to get into this like obsessive, like, well, I am born in this region of the country in the mountain range. So it's just so ridiculous, right? It's ridiculous. But yeah, if they want to have that fight, right? If they want to go into that fight, I think we should let these loons go into that kind of discussion, right? Because they're never gonna win that, because it's gonna get absurdly ridiculous where we can't do anything anymore, right? We can't have a voice actor voicing like a Viking guy because she's from America. I mean, like, we're gonna go anywhere. No one's gonna get any work anymore, right? Like, I've seen some of these American voice actors. I won't say what name it is, people don't know about. Korean guy arguing that only voice actors looking like the character should be able to, like, be them, right? But that means that basically none of you are gonna be able to do anything anymore, because so many characters are aliens or cats or Vikings or whatever, right? So you won't be able to cast anyone anymore, right? Like, straight up, go for that. Yeah, it's gonna be completely possible to get anything done, right? But anyway, I think it's really, really funny now that they want to argue that the Doom is not white anymore. And like I said, this will grow. Trust me, guys, this will grow. Right now, it's like a few people on tweets, people Reddit, people, right? But this will increase, externally. It will increase. We're going to have way more people saying this. Again, the movie isn't out yet, right? The movie's coming out in years from now. And we're going to have this thing going on. Like I said, with the case, One Piece, that was a very clear case. For the first month, people were like, obviously it's kind of weird. It's obviously a white Swedish girl. And then a year later, people are like, oh, she's all been black, Like the Rick's Mandela effect. They're like, oh, sorry, she's black. Like, no, but what? No. You know what I mean? It's crazy. But anyway, subscribe. Have a great day.